Kimberly Guilfoyle. I always feel weird. I don't know if I pronounced that name right. I apologize if I don't. But then again, I'm about to rip her to shreds anyway, so I don't know why I'm apologizing. She's on the 5, and she basically took off the mask and stopped pretending like she believes in democracy and the United States of America and the Constitution. And the reason why she's going to bash our way of life is ISIS. And she's going to admit that she would happily get rid of civil liberties and law and justice to crack down on ISIS. And she's more than happy to bring in an authoritarian leader to the U.S. like a Netanyahu or Putin.
Can we actually do this without so-called violating their civil liberties?
Guess what? I don't care. And in fact, I hope we violate a lot of their civil liberties. This is war. This is terror. There should be no mercy involved because they have shown none. That's the only language that they understand. And in terms of making like decisive action, look, I hope the president has enough people around him to push him in the right direction. I really think there's just really one right answer here. We can talk about the ways to get it done. Airstrikes, certainly, but it's going to take more than that. We've already got troops on the ground. We already need help from our UK and European allies and counterparts. I mean, can I just make a special request in the magic lamp? Can we get like Netanyahu or like Putin in for 48 hours, head of the United States? I don't know. I just want somebody to get in here and get it done right so that Americans don't have to worry and wake up in the morning fearful of a group that's murderous and horrific like ISIS.
Republican 101. The second something scares you, fuck it, throw out the Constitution, throw out civil liberties, bring in an authoritarian or a dictator, let them crack down on everything and just make me feel safe. I'm so scared. See, that's the funny thing about it. These guys always act like, yeah, I'm tough, I'm macho, I'm a conservative, I'm law and order kind of guy. And then the second something goes slightly wrong, they're like, oh, protect me, government. I love big government now. Please, I'm an authoritarian. I'll do whatever you say. I don't need to think on my own. I don't believe in civil liberties. Just whatever. Just let me sleep at night. Yeah, I just need to feel comfy on my pillow. Where's my teddy bear? So tell us again how you're strong. And also how you're the party of law and order when you just said, yeah, fuck the Constitution. Civil liberties, she said it at the beginning. I hope we violate civil liberties. I hope we do. Man, the Founding Fathers are turning over in their graves listening to this moron on TV. And then also, look at the irony of, she goes on like, all these savages understand is violence. But wait, what separates us from them, in theory? Okay, it's that we believe in law and order, we believe in, a constitution, we believe in civil liberties, we believe in the Magna Carta. We believe that you have to have a system set up with that gets justice. You have to have a system whereby we're not a nation of men, we're a nation of laws, and that's what separates us from gorillas or monkeys or baboons or the people you're talking about, these vicious jihadists and terrorists and, people who would behead because you did something that they personally disagree with. That's what separates us from them, and what's her solution? Just be more like them. Can we just do that? Just for a little bit, get rid of the Constitution, get rid of civil liberties, that would really make me sleep better at night, so let's do that. But do you not understand that you become a monster yourself when you try to go down that road? See, that's the thing that was always amazing to me. Like, here's an example. After World War II, did you know that we put to death some Japanese soldiers who waterboarded our guys, our soldiers? Okay? And but when the war on terror came around and the situation with Iraq and we got Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and we got all these other people and we brought them to Guantanamo, held them extrajudicially, and then we waterboarded them. And it wasn't even like the conversation was no longer, do we put you to death for waterboarding when we do it? Then all of a sudden the conversation was, it's not even against the law. We're going to call it enhanced interrogation and wash our hands clean. Why? Because we're the good guys by definition, so we're allowed to do whatever we want. But the whole idea of America is the opposite of that. You don't excuse actions if you do it and crack down when somebody else does it. Then you're by definition a hypocrite, and you're contradicting yourself and your belief system. The whole idea is it's wrong when anybody does it. Okay? I mean, it drives me crazy that they don't realize this. It's the same idea of, like, oh, you have some gross authoritarian dictator or a group of terrorists, whether it's Al-Qaeda or ISIS, and they kill civilians. How horrible is that? But then, like, there's no conversation when we blow up a wedding procession and we didn't even really check hard enough to make sure, it was the Taliban or Al-Qaeda, which is what their argument was. We thought it was Al-Qaeda, so we just blew them up, right? Or when we purposely attack, get this, we purposely attack the funeral of Taliban operatives, even when we know women and children are there, because we assume, well, there might be some other Taliban operatives there, so it's collateral damage to get the women and children in that scenario. Okay? Or when we kill over 200,000 civilians in Iraq when we invade and do all these horrible things. It's like whenever we do it, we just dismiss the wrongness of it. It's like, no, it's okay, we did it and we meant well. That's the argument. Well, we meant well, so it's fine because we meant well. Well, that doesn't mean anything because, look, the fucking people who are jihadists, they genuinely believe they're doing right because they're it's holy, it's in our book, it's the Quran, we know it's true, it's the whole meaning for life. If you disobey the Quran, you're violating eternal law, God's law, so you should be killed, etc., etc. That's not a reason, right? But what she does, and this is the problem with human beings, and especially the problem with conservatives, they're so tribal by nature that they can't see straight. There's no logic, there's no reason, there's no rationality. So when she says something like get rid of civil liberties, get rid of law and order, let us be vicious to combat their viciousness, she has no clue that she's stooping down. She has no clue that you're becoming a bad guy also. You're also becoming a monster. You're not supposed to ever have that. The whole point of the Constitution, the whole point of civil liberties is that they are not debatable. And you don't get rid of them whenever it's inconvenient to have them in place. I mean, for fuck's sake, what? Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, vicious, brutal serial killers that have lived in the United States of America or have killed wherever, right? If these guys, if somebody can, gun down dozens of people and do mass shooting, like what's his name, Holmes, I think his name is, who did the Batman shooting, right, in Aurora. Like, if we can look at a guy like that and go, oh my God, it's the most vicious, brutal crime imaginable, but we're going to give him a trial because we're not animals, right? Then what's any different, that or somebody who does, an attack in the name of a political ideology or religious ideology? Gross injustice and killings and murder, it's the same at the end of the day, whether you're doing it for this reason or that reason, right? So one group, we say we give a trial. The other one, no, don't give them a trial. Get rid of the Constitution. But that's the problem. Your ideology is the problem. You're making it worse. Look, when you do that, the jihadists win. This is the point I'm trying to get across. If you read what Osama bin Laden said, he wrote about this extensively, that he knew he couldn't take down the mighty American empire, but his plan was, well, we attack them and then goad them into blowing all their money and bankrupting themselves by waging a war throughout the Middle East. And then when you wage a war throughout the Middle East, then the Middle East rises up and goes against you, but America becomes bankrupt and they throw out their own values and principles and they don't abide by their own laws. And then that was his plan. His plan was to goad people like Kimberly Guilfoyle into doing exactly what she's advocating for. And then obviously, what's her ideal situation? Well, all I want is Vladimir Putin in control, or Netanyahu. Netanyahu's been in the news recently for what specifically? Killing over 2,000 people in Gaza in a brutal crackdown, attacking UN schools, attacking hospitals, blowing up kids on a beach while they play soccer. Okay, 80% civilian death rate. Okay, over 500 children killed. And what's Kimberly Guilfoyle's response? Rock and roll. That's why I like him. Let's do that. I like that. Crackdown, yes. Be a dictator. Be authoritarian, yes. War is good. Putin just invaded Ukraine, we learned, right? He annexed Crimea a few months ago. He just said, thanks, I'll take that. I know it's yours, Ukraine, but now it's mine because I say so. And I have a bigger military. What now? And what's her response? Yes, I need him to be here. I want him here. If you pick Putin and Netanyahu over Obama and you yearn to get rid of civil liberties, you are by definition un-American, and you need to realize that.